Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Waliuddin bin Ahmad Shukri. My matric number is DE200086.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Hafiz bin Abdullah and my matrix number is DE 2080.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Nik Muhammad Aizat bin Jaafar and my matric is CE 200044.
My name is Muhammad Aizil Fikri Raslan. My matric number is DE 2041.
So now I will introduce the introduction of discovering the realities of weighing and becoming an engineer. So previously we already joined the webinar organized by IK Academy, which attended by Iquans Noto, who graduated as a civil engineer, also known as a sourcing engineer. So he pursued a career in one of the first and the largest energy company in the world as a sourcing leader now. In this webinar, Iquans Noto told us about his journey about becoming a sourcing engineer. With the presence of Iquans Noto in this webinar, students can have a clear view on how technology shapes society, culture, health, and safety and development. Hence, students also able to see the reality of working life as an engineer in the present and future and look forward towards on how big society's expectation about development of engineering technology. Next is the report organization, which I will explain about the background company. IK stands for integrating knowledge. We believe that by integrating technical know-how towards daily operation, it not only saves time and money but also the life around you. IK's motto is Go Technical. In IK, all course that promise is neutrality, integration, craftsmanship, honesty, experience. With a humble start from a home office, IK has grown in the last 12 years with a collective team of over 90 employees, network of 362 industry trainers and partners such as Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, Australia, China, India, US, UK, Germany, Netherlands, and South Africa. There is 814 technical courses which benefit over 200,000 technical personnel across the Southeast Asia. IK Academy has received the Best Training Provider Award by Malaysia's Ministry of Human Resources, classed as 5-star training provider by HRDF, and recognized as a SME 100 Award winner for one of Malaysia's fastest growing companies. So IK Company basically lead a training by calling the experienced engineer, senior engineer, or someone with experience in engineering field. In their Facebook page, there are many free webinar that this company already provide to us. So that's all for report organization. Next is question and answer.
Okay, now my name is Muhammad Waliuddin bin Ahmad Shukri. This is my question that I asked for Ikhwan Sunoto, the sourcing engineer. My question is, as an engineer, do you often feel that your job can have a positive impact on society by giving a high level of commitment? So the answer is, he said yes. Engineer are built to work. So when you commit, there are two types of commitment. One is that you are committed to the work because you are paid, and the other is that you are committed to your work because it is actually benefits the society, the nation, and the environment. So I do feel that because in my current position, I can make some change that for society while being committed in a positive way.
So the question that I asked during webinar is, as engineer, do you think with current pandemic, which is COVID-19, will be a problem to produce a high quality engineer in the future? Either yes or no, please include the reasons why. So the answer that given by Iquans Noto is no, because as we know, even though the current engineering students studying in an online environment, it does not affect on producing high quality engineer. Instead, it might be it might be produce more quality engineer because the current situation for engineering students teach us how to adapt with new environment, since the previous environment was a face to face, but now we using a online platform to study with, or to study or make a class with lecturer, make a communication and do a group assignment or any tasks using online platform and communication using online platform too. So this might be a produce a high quality engineer. Actually, this current pandemic might improve the quality of future engineer because they learn how to adapt with new environment. So in real working life, there might be new environment that we need to adapt and needed to be ready. So that is the answer by Ikwan Snoto. That's all.
So my question that I give to the talk, which is toward IR 4.0, what is the impact that need to be faced for the engineer and the society? So the answer that they give is we need to keep on adapting, evolving. The main problem is as engineer and the technical sector, we refuse to adapt a new technology and new normal. As a conclusion, we need to keep learning and evolving in our situation. So next, my point is recommendation for this program also for the society and engineer. So first thing first, the program let the program known by other community. The second recommendation is the society needs to open their eyes on why this program can help them in their life. So last but not least, community and engineer need learn to play their role to adapt a situation in this era. So where we get this webinar, so we get this webinar from our friends that they find from Facebook. Okay, so that's all from our group, and thank you.
So I want to talk about my question that I asked when during the webinar. So my question is describe a time you had to work on a team and something didn't go well this COVID-19 issue in your team. So what will you do differently? So the answer of the answer is no, because that nothing we can do to avoid this virus, because my project manager that work in Indonesia died because of this virus, and all of document project have in the project manager laptop. So the losing team member affect a lot of a team, and nothing can do different way. It's COVID-19. uh, Nothing we can do for the kind of disease when uh, affect to us. For the work file, we also can save it on iCloud. That my only advice. So that the answer for.
Okay, now we are going to analysis and discussion from the previous question. That the question had as given by Muhammad Walidin is about how a job as an engineer can have a positive impact by giving a high level of commitment. So the answer from the engineer is in this webinar is about two types of commitment that actually exist in an engineer's life. So the first type that has been mentioned is the commitment to the work because of the pay that every engineer gets from their work. Next, the second type of commitment is the engineers being committed to the work because it is actually bringing something positive to the society, the nation, and their environment. So, from his answer, we can conclude that sometimes an engineer must feel responsible for their work because of the feeling that they need to have a positive impact on their environment, not just because of the pay that they get from the work. This is because if an engineer feels positive responsibility for their work, it can make their work clean, be more cleaner, and provide a high quality of work to their environment and the community as a whole. So, the conclusion from this webinar program is that all the group members were able to get the answer from the engineer itself, Ikhwan Sunoto, by asking him a few questions regarding the engineer and the society. All group members asked Ikhwan Sunoto with their own question by writing them in the chat box on the Facebook Live. For example, the first question that is asked by one of the group members, which is Muhammad Waliuddin, this about regarding how a job as engineer can have a positive impact on society with a high level of commitment. So, to this question, Ikhwan Sunoto generously replied with his own answer that there are two types of commitment from engineer with their work. The first one is being the commitment that engineers have because the pay that is given to them. And the second is the commitment by the engineers with their work that can have a positive impact on society. So, the answer given by Ikhwan Sunoto can meet the requirement of the question that I given to him, and it is also the same as the next question asked by the other group members. Therefore, all the answers given by Ikhwan Sunoto are because, according to his own opinion, they have a met requirement of each question given that are closely related to engineering and society.
Ikwan, we are going to take some questions. We have a questions from Muhammad Wailuddin. I have a question. As an engineer, do you often feel that your job can make a positive impact on society by giving a high level of commitment?
Yes, of course. Engineers build the world. So, uh, if you committed on, there's two type of commitment. So first, you are committed with your work because you're going to get paid, right, Emmeline?
Yes,
Yep.
true.
And another type of commitment, is you being committed with your work because it's actually being something positive, bring something positive to the society, to the nation, to the environment. So I do felt that uh, at my current position, I can make some changes, like for example, like in terms of sourcing and procurement, I can start hiring people and companies and vendors and suppliers who actually have more focus and also towards well-being of the people. Like all of these CSRs, and then also prioritization towards environment. So yeah, I do feel we can make a lot of positive impacts to the society.
Thank you, Ikwan. Ikwan, keep learning and keep evolving, right?
Yes, agree.
Ikwan, Apis Twiggies have a question. As an engineer, do you think with current pandemic, which is COVID-19, will be a problem to produce a high quality engineer in the future? Is your answer yes or no? May I know why?
No. No, my answer would be no. Yeah. So because of COVID, a lot of people, current students actually would studying from home, taking their classes from home. So it's one of the thing that actually going to actually make yourself, how can I say this? Previously, everyone goes to the class, right? Hear the lecturer on class, everything.
Physical
but
class.
Yes, physical classes. So when you're doing this online, you need to be more creative on the way of you do things, right? So you already adapt with your current situation, whereby you need to work from home, you need to study from home. So in the future, these are the common, the new normal that we need to face. Right? So, for example, like if you're a civil engineer or mechanical engineer, you can be in Malaysia, and then your project can be in Germany or in Egypt, and then you work from here. So you don't have this same kind of resources with people who actually on the site. So you need to make do of whatever you have right now. So in terms of saying we produce less high quality engineers in the future, I wouldn't say so.
Perhaps if it's a higher quality engineer, right?
Maybe the same quality. different. I cannot, I cannot
Different way of
bring,
working.
I cannot bring down the old guys. All of the old
It's
guys
just
still,
change and adapt and keep,
yes,
adapt to the new environment so that we can be on par, right?
shift. Yeah, shift from one new normal to a new normal, everything's become new in the future. So
yeah,
you guys are the future. So
you guys are the future. Ikwan, Muhammad Aizil will have a question to ask towards IR 4.0. What is the impact that need to be faced for the engineers, also for the society? What's your thought?
all right. So the thing is with IR 4.0. So when we're talking about challenges, impact, all this kind of thing that we need to face as engineers, right? So throughout the millennium, You know, the cycle like in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. That's what everyone actually faced challenges. So and during this time we also face challenges. So the thing is, we need to keep on adapting and evolving. So the problem we have in the engineering and technical sector would be us as engineers refuse to actually adapt with new technologies and new normal in the world. Right? So, like for example, like during this time, back in when I was started working and when I was studying, AutoCAD was still in use. You know, people actually drafting using their hands sometimes, and then using the AutoCAD software. But you know, nowadays we actually have AI do that, who can actually do that. Computer software who actually can do that. So in the future, we can see that engineers who actually do all the drawing, do all of this designing will no longer be relevant because all the AI system are there. So it would become like accountant, because we have all this kind of system right now. Yeah, so all of these kind of systems and then softwares, some of them become irrelevant anymore. Yeah. You cannot do buku kira-kira anymore. You need to know how to use the softwares. So that's the thing. So in terms of engineers, you need to be adaptable. So the thing with IR 4.0 right now, you need to at least, my advice to the younger generation, at least know how to code. Yeah, because in addition to you become a civil engineer or mechanical engineer or whatever engineer background, petroleum engineer, once you went into the big data world, once you know how to code and know softwares and systems, you're going to bring in big impact to the yes, to the organization, and of course to yourself, right? In terms of your personal development. So that's one of the kind of thing that you need to be looking into more right now, because all of us going to be replaced by AI sooner or later in the future.
So we have to keep learning and keep evolving, right?
Yes, agree.
Ikwan, Aiza would like to ask, describe a time you had to work on a team and something didn't go well with this COVID-19 issue in your team. What would you do differently?
When we're talking about COVID-19, right? So I want to share my experience of losing one of my team member during during COVID time and to COVID. So this project manager was working in Indonesia. So God bless him. So he passed away due to COVID. So and everything went into halt because he was like our key person over there, and we don't have any backup for him. And then basically all of the documents are in his laptop, were in his laptop. So that's professionally, but the losing him basically affected us a lot as a team. When we're talking about what would I do differently, there's nothing I can do differently over here. Is that it's COVID, and it's this kind of disease. When it affects you, it's going to be there. So yeah, there's nothing I can do different in terms of personally, but in terms of work, you can always store everything in cloud. So yeah, that's my only advice to everyone.